Hello, hello. Well, hello. My name is Jennifer. Welcome to Stories from the Earth. I hope everyone is doing well today. So today we have Alana House. Before we bring her in, I'm going to do an intro of, yes. Oh, I have to find my intro. Yeah. So this is why I'm doing these interviews. The practice of herbalism is as diverse and dynamic as each individual herb and each individual herbalist. There are many ways to be an herbalist and many ways to interact with the plant world. Each herbalist takes their own path. This series explores the many ways to be an herbalist, who an herbalist is, as well as a discussion on herbalism today and where herbalism might be going in the future. All right. So, yeah, let's. Hello.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So, yes. I love your where you are in your space.
Oh, thank you.
The baskets and everything, and then you can see like your medicine that you've made. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So Alana has a herbal business where she makes herbal medicine. We're gonna get into that in a minute. The links are in the comments, and it's called Buck Naked Medicine. So, but anyway, yeah. Did you get any snow?
No, we got no snow, like tiny, tiny flurries, but no, unfortunately. Did you?
Yeah, we got like enough to sort of cover the grass a bit.
Where are you?
I'm in town, so I'm in Asheville proper. So usually we don't get a lot. Like I think we get the least amount here, but I was surprised.
I have friends in Madison County that have tons of snow. I'm a little bit jealous.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know. I was hoping to wake up to the white.
Not yet. Not well. It was a little white. It was a little white. Like yeah. Well, I get off at like 12 a.m. So it's just really beautiful out, and it was just started to sort of come down, and anyway. So, but I think last year we didn't have any snow. So I'm looking for my notes, but they're not written down. They're on the computer today. I was like, where's my questions? All right. Anyway. So it's really weird. We don't actually have anybody joining us live right now. So it's throwing me off a bit. Usually we have a few people watching us live. So it's just you and me. All right. But if anyone joins us and you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section, and I will we will answer them. All right. So we'll just jump right in. Okay. All right. So what was your earliest experience with herbal medicine, and did you grow up using herbal medicine in your family? Oh, I'm by myself. Uh-oh. Hold on. Technical difficulties. We're gonna wait a second. Yeah, okay. Oops. Oh boy. missed you. Well, I'm glad no one's watching us live because we don't have to worry about messing up. Yeah. I just texted her, so. A security breach? Okay, yeah. That's weird. Oh, she's back. Okay, well. Hey, that's weird. That was weird.
That was really weird. It's popped up that there was some security breach and then kicked me out. I don't know.
Oh, that's strange.
I don't know.
It's never happened. I don't. This. Okay.
I think I'm magnetic or something because technology does really weird things for me. I break phones a lot, and not from dropping them, just from, I don't know, having them.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what would happen. We were, this is not on the topic of herbs, but there's this thing called Tarot-thon where it's like a 24-hour like tarot where like each channel does like an hour of like a presentation, and it's 24 hours and it sort of goes around the world because there's tarot people in Australia and England and everywhere else, and we like was last year while in the middle of it YouTube went down globally.
Oh no.
We're like, we broke YouTube. Insane. Like it just like I don't remember YouTube ever doing like it's very rare. And we're just like, we just broke it. Like everybody like
that's kind of amazing with all those magic tarot, there's so much energy in tarot that it just Yeah,
I mean like it could have been. I mean, so it's this everybody, it's great. Like I can totally like if you're interested, I can totally send you the link to that, and they have the old ones up, so you can just watch them. And cool. But yeah, some people stay up 24 hours, but I can't do it. But it's great. It's just like such a coordinated event, and I think this coming year will be like the 4th year. I forget when they do it. All right, so we'll go back. We'll try not to break anything else.
Put my magnetism to the side.
Just yes, a little bit. But I mean, I'm hoping that there wasn't, those things that they can be like scary feeling. It's like security, no.
I've had like weird naked people break into Zoom meetings before. Really? Yeah. Really? There's so many people who do weird like bombings, I guess. Like
I didn't know you could even do that. Like I've had on YouTube, I've had people bomb me there. If you don't have moderators, they'll just 40, 50 people show up and just start like commenting at crazy shit that you can't go do. Weird. So, we have no mods in here now, but it's okay. They leave me alone now. But wow. Okay, something to be watching out for in Zoom. As far as I know, StreamYard I haven't heard of anything like that. So, oh my gosh. I guess it's, I don't know, makes everyone giggle.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we should start questions. Okay. So these are not in the order that I sent you to because I didn't order them. So, so what was your earliest memory with herbal medicine? And did you grow up using herbal medicine in your family?
Yeah, we used some, nothing too major. I went to a Waldorf preschool, and so we would make little potions and concoctions there. So I think that is probably my earliest memory of making medicine was in preschool. So I guess I was 4 or 5.
So, do you remember anything what you made? Anything specific or?
I know we made a salve, and I know it had plantain and probably calendula in it. I know it had plantain because I remember picking them. I've always loved picking them because those little strings.
Yeah. They're fun. There's a fun sort of pull. Yeah.
And the flowers, you can like fold it over and shoot it.
Right. That's awesome. I gotta say my like earliest like we did tinctures, so like I grew up with like a echinacea tincture or anything, but like I didn't like do anything myself until I was like 28 or something. So that's so cool that you got to do it, that early and sort of had that experience. Heather joined us. Hi, Heather. That's my friend Heather. You missed the technical difficulties, hopefully, so we're good now. Well, cool. All right. So you said you grew up in Hawaii, which is really cool. I've never been, but my husband's parents are getting to go for work, so I think that's cool. But we're like, oh, I want to go, but we'll have to wait. So tell us about growing up in Hawaii and just like how would you describe living Hawaii to someone who's never been there? Just a little like Hawaii background. I guess like we're familiar with it, but like probably just in a very, oh yeah, it's there on the map. On the bottom.
Movies always portray it as maybe something that it's not fully. It's beautiful. Growing up there was beautiful. I'm really lucky. The ocean was always a touchstone for me. I actually had a really like messed up childhood, kind of like we were homeless for a little while, and
wow.
It wasn't great, but it's beautiful. Someone who's going to go there, I would say it's really slow paced. So I think people have a hard time when they move there from somewhere more fast paced, like actually exhaling and falling into the pace. People are they move slower and things don't happen as quickly. And it's really expensive. So that's something to know. Yeah. The cost of living is just like insane. Like really crappy houses sell for $1 million.
So worse than it is here.
Oh, way worse. Yeah. I mean, it's gotten a lot more developed over the years. So that like picturesque Hawaii picture is probably not accurate as to how it is now. I'm sure there are certain islands that haven't been developed in the same way. I'm from Maui, and I mean, it's beautiful there. The land is just so rich and potent and medicinal, and the ocean is beautiful, and like anywhere, humans are, taking their toll on it.
Yeah. Heather says it's a dreamy vacation spot. Yeah, we all have that palm tree like postcard idea. That was one of the reasons why I was asking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is beautiful.
So we haven't. I mean, I do wish that us humans would tread a little lighter so that we can have those beautiful spaces. And I remember like when, so like somebody who like was living in, my family's from New York, and it's definitely faster paced up there. So I'm going to say, for example, if someone moved from New York there, they may have a, or like here, like I've had relatives visit here, and one of my, one of the descriptions was, it's quaint.
Totally. Yeah, it kind of has that like southern like slowness, the same, it's a pace thing.
Yeah. I mean, I like that right now. I'm like, yeah, I think I would like to go slower. So I think we could all use that. But well, and then Heather said you persevered. Talking about your childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of therapy.
Yes. Therapy is good. I've also benefited from lots of therapy.
I'm a big therapy advocate. I love it, and I love my therapist.
Yeah, it took me a while to find. I've had several through the years, and it took me a while to find one that really we clicked together. But yeah, she was instrumental and a big part of helping me with some big health issues that I was having that were like mind and body, that are mind and body. So like you need that mind. Right. Right. They always are. Heather says my dream is to have lots of therapy someday. Yeah. Well, it can be expensive, so that's a whole other topic about like access to good mental health care. So as well as good, yeah. Heather, I wish you lots of good therapy.
Reach for the stars.
Okay, so going back to Hawaii, what are there any plants, like medicinal plants that grow there that are not found, say, here on what do we call it, the upper 48, lower mainland, on the mainland?
There are different versions of things too that are there. I actually called my best friend, and who still lives on Maui, and she does a lot of plant walks and loves plant medicine also, and we talked about it because I was like trying to rack my brain, and I knew there was a couple, but I couldn't think of too many. The silver sword is one that I believe only grows on Maui. I think that they've maybe found some on other islands, but they're generally just on Maui. And they're a really protected plant, like it's illegal to touch them, but they are medicinal. Mamaki is a Hawaiian wood nettle. It doesn't have the sting of the nettles here, but it has the same medicinal properties. One of my favorites is the painted eucalyptus. And I know that grows in other places, I think Australia and stuff, but it grows a lot there. And it is so beautiful. The bark just, it's unbelievable. You have to see it to appreciate it.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. Tea leaf is a leaf that they use as food and medicine. They'll use it to break fevers. And it's what they wrap. They make leis out of it, and they use it for making lau, and which is a type of food. Kukui nuts are something that grow there, and they they'll make you poop. They're called the 1, 2, 3 nut, and
That's not a
1, you're
bad.
good, 2, you gotta go, 3, you really gotta go.
It's not bad.
And then there's a tree called Kiave, and it is a Hawaiian mesquite. And so the pods are edible. It's like a food medicine, kind of, just the same way that mesquite is. Noni grows there. That's medicinal. I think that grows other places too. So other than the silver sword, I don't know that there's any that just grows in Hawaii. I think the mamaki, the wood nettle, is just a Hawaiian version.
I think most of those are not very common where we are. I don't think they're, like the only one I've heard of is the kukui nut. Kukui. I think it's the only one I've like heard of by name. So it's always cool to hear about like other plants in other places, and so I wish I had like I can
visual
I can show the pictures, but I don't have them up. Like if I was more prepared, I'd be like, and then we can show everyone. So Heather put up a link to the rainbow
painted eucalyptus.
Yeah,
so pretty.
It's not going to help anyone, but we can copy and paste that. So thank you, Heather. Yes. I don't think I can. I was seeing if I can go to like, no. I was trying to see if I can go to the link from my page, but anyway, thank you.
Technology stuff is just, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm prepared. All right. So everyone watch those back and look them up on the YouTube. No, you just click on that. No, it wouldn't let me, Heather. It's a show, so it doesn't give me the like the option. It's really weird. Oh man, it's okay.
I think that my best friend must be watching because she just texted me. Kukui nuts were also used to keep time. They have an oil. I don't know if she's texting more right now. They have an oil in them that it burns. So I think maybe that's how they kept time with it.
Oh, like our candle almost. Like a
Yeah, it's a candle nut. So you can use it you can burn them. And
oh wow.
Yeah. It's like
that's amazing. Well, hello. She's watching. Hi. Thank you for joining us. Oh yeah, Heather. Anyone can watch and can click on the link. You're right. Yes, I just can't do it because, I'm hosting. So,
yeah. She said they would put 4 nuts on a palm frond vane and burn them each. One burns about 5 minutes, so you could say, "I'll be back in 5 nuts." That's hilarious.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I mean, I guess analogous, but not quite, is like people making like torches with mullein stalks. Where I've never done it myself. I've been wanting to sort of do it, or like dip the whole thing in sort of wax, make a big candle. But anyway, yeah. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing. I guess you would need like a lot of nuts for it to last longer.
Yeah, they're pretty readily available.
So you just like
collect lots of them.
Oh. So, what was your herbal education like, and why did you feel like pulled to study herbs?
I felt pulled to study herbs. I feel like it's just like the deepest connection. It's like ancient, and there's this wisdom in it that is connecting. I think I needed something to root into. Also, becoming a mother is when I really dove deep into it, because baby stuff is just so full of toxins and crap, and I just want to poison my baby. And I've mostly done self-study. I mean, I'm just a total nerd for books. I just will dive super, super deep. I've done study through Chestnut School and my friend Asia a little bit, and just lots of online classes. I haven't done like any formal in-depth like clinical herbalism program or anything, but in this country, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to have like the degree isn't actually a degree. So
right.
yeah. My formal education is in health and wellness promotion. And that's a bachelor's through the University of North Carolina. So
yeah, it sounds very similar to my education. Just sort of bits here and bits there, and
I can't get enough. There's so much information. I just take it in however I can get my hands on it.
Yeah, me too. I was just like, it's really funny because I'm working in a, my day job has nothing to do with herbs, but yeah, it does come up like with my coworkers, and then I'm like just chiming in, and it's sort of like, I guess I'm trying to say, like, it's sort of like, it doesn't, even if you're not like actively using it, it's like, it just, oh man, words. Yeah, so it just always comes up. People ask you questions, and you're like, somehow they figure out that you know something about herbs, and then they ask you questions, and you're like, I don't know, I gotta look that up. And then so it just
it's an infinite wormhole.
Yes, exactly. So Heather put up a little description of what the oh my gosh,
Kukui
nut is a symbol of enlightenment, protection, guidance, and peace. Its spiritual powers are still believed to flow through Hawaiian culture and its ceremonies. So it sounds awesome. I love a burnable nut. I'm a little bit of a pyro at just the fact that I'm considering burning a whole like sock of mullein. So thank you, Heather, for putting it up. But yeah, in this country, you sort of, I wish yes, and I wish no. I wish that we could have a more of a formal like degree, and we could go to school for it, and we could like actually have careers a little more easily in herbs. That there was like a path to practice herbalism in a more official capacity. But also, like, I like the fact that we're sort of like not regulated as much. So like, you know, and we're sort of self-regulated among the herbalists, and so there's a little more freedom. But I feel if I could just have gone to like college and like studied herbalism as soon as I knew that I was interested in, and been able to have like a like maybe like a practice, maybe had been able to study clinical herbalism in college and gotten those nice student loans for it and all that stuff. Like
Mhm.
I think that would have been like really great. But so that is a whole like another topic about like sort of careers in herbalism and oh my gosh, my brain, y'all, ADD. I'm sorry.
It's a good brain.
I like lose my train of thought like in the middle, and it's not. Sometimes it's worse. So, yeah, I'll pick it back up. I swear, I had a point.
I agree with what you're saying, though. It's like it would be nice to have actual formal, like acknowledged education that you could like go to college for, but it would be way more regulated, which sucks. Yeah, I kind of wish I could just go to college and do that. Health and wellness promotion degree was really helpful in just kind of navigating wellness as a whole. If I had unlimited time and resources, I'd probably be either a naturopathic doctor or an osteopathic doctor, but those schoolings aren't available here in Western North Carolina, and we have kids, and I'm just rooted, and I can't move to do that right now. Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Never know. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at going back to college for graphic design. Yeah, like, and so I didn't think that was gonna happen. It's gonna be very slow. It's you know, I'm working full time and I have a chronic illness, so you know, it's like one class at a time, and so I feel similar to how you feel. It's just, you know, sort of, but yeah, surprisingly, you just don't know what's going to happen. And so yes, maybe, and all the online stuff. So it might be a little more easier, even that, you know, or there might be something you could do online, even with kids and everything else. So yeah.
My youngest is 4.5, so I feel like when he's a little older, I'll be able to have a little more
like running around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, what I think next year starts kindergarten. So
he's in a Waldorf kindergarten program. We do kindergarten for 2 years, so but it's half a day. So yeah.
Yeah. Went to full-time school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Heather asked, was herbalism what brought you to Asheville?
No, my grandma brought me here. I have a teenage brother who I adopted, and he actually just moved out on Friday. He's I know. But he was born and my grandma adopted him, and I moved here to help with him and get away from the expensiveness of Hawaii.
Yeah. And did you know that like you were coming? Were you already interested in herbs before you came here, or was that something that developed more fully here?
I was interested for sure, but it definitely developed more here. I knew the plants when I was there, but I was kind of a wild girl, so I wasn't really doing much of things that were natural.
Oh.
I've been here for 17 years though. So that was, you know, I'm 30. I'm in between 35 and 40. I can't remember if I'm 36 or 37. So
this is where I get a little lost too. Like, I'm like, what? Oh yeah, I'm 43. Got it. Okay, check. Like in the middle, you know, you remember those big ones, like 40. I definitely remember because I went through a lot. That's when I had like a very big like health crisis. So I was like, okay, 40 is a big one for me. And then, you know, but I mean, then it's sort of all like, so.
It's a blur. I think when I turned 30, I thought I was turning 31, and then I've been confused ever since.
It's okay. I picked the lower one. No, just kidding. Or the higher one if you're like, I want to be older today.
Time and ages, it doesn't seem really all that real to me. So
it doesn't. It's like when you get to past a certain age, it sort of is all sort of I'd say maybe it doesn't have, it has less meaning, but it feels sort of like less meaning. Like it
feels fluid to me.
Yeah.
It's sort of random.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, it's like you get up to a level and you're like, oh, and you see everyone appear like on this, like when you get past, you're like, what are you, 20, whatever. And it's like you break through some clouds. You're like, oh, okay, cool. I don't know. I don't know how to describe that feeling, but I mean, I definitely don't feel 43. So
43 either.
Thank you, but I wish I could take credit for that one. But
the genes,
lousy digestion. Well, sensitive digestion, but good genes on that. Yeah. And I don't know, everyone's life experience is so different. So like, society assigns meanings to these ages, but I think at some point it just is very individual. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Like, like I can connect with someone a lot younger than me and someone a lot older than me just on our experiences. I think that is, and that's what I would want for myself as well, with connecting with someone like. So.
Raising teenagers has made me realize that I'm really old and not cool.
Oh no! Oh, I think you're cool. I'm not a teenager, so I don't count.
I don't really care about being cool, so it's all right.
Like, one of these days you'll realize that I am cool. Heather says, awesome. I forget what she was saying awesome too a little while ago. There was another question that I was gonna. Oh yeah. Well, so what inspires your herbalism, and what inspires you like about herbalism? Like, why do you, I guess, get excited to do herbalism, be involved in it? Like that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually have been kind of ruminating on that for the last couple days. I mean, the obvious and easy answer is the plants,
Yeah.
There's probably not an herbalist out there that would not say that. And I think for me, it was really that like sense of home and knowing, like, if you go somewhere and you recognize the plants, it's a place that feels familiar and comfortable and homey. There's just like that ancient wisdom that comes from plants. It's like sometimes you meet a plant and you're like, I know that you're medicinal. I know that you do something, and then you fall down that wormhole of information and it never ends. I mean, the information for me is a big part of it. I really love to learn. I really love to study. And you can know a plant forever and then learn something new that it does. And yeah. I found that fascinating. Reciprocity is something that's really important to me in my herbal practice. And I feel like it's a really good way for me to check in with myself and my reasoning for things. And so that's a really important inspiration in my herbalism, is making sure that the way that I'm tending to the land is reciprocal and regenerative, and that I'm not taking too much. I really love the seasons and tuning into that and watching plants change through the seasons and watching their whole life cycle. It's really inspiring to me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the short answer is the plants.
The plants. But all those other reasons are, as to like what you said about more about the plants, like learning and connecting and stuff like that. And I think that is really like could be considered like the plants are the heart of the herbalism, because we're doing the plant, we're studying the plants, we're using the plants, we're learning about them, observing them. That's the whole thing, that connection. Yeah, that's I think that's I would definitely agree with that. Yeah, that's what I like that too about herbalism as well. Yeah.
Sometimes herbalists take too much credit for their work and don't give enough credit to the plants. Like, I made this medicine, when really you just kind of facilitated the creation of the medicine because the plants made the medicine.
Yeah, I just put it in like some alcohol for 6 weeks, but I didn't do nothing. And I said I just know what it, and then I also know like, okay, you've got this cold or whatever, you take this, and so you're just like connecting up, like I guess the people with the plants or something, and so yeah.
For the plants. I'm a yentl for the plants.
A yentl. That's right. Oh my gosh. I love that. I've never thought of it like that. Right. Exactly. A matchmaker. Yeah. And you really just match up the people, and it's like, whoa, I found you a match. If anyone's ever seen Fiddler on the Roof, you'll know what we mean. Matchmaker.
Make me a
match. Find me a find. Catch me a catch. Make me a perfect match.
I feel like I need to let my kids see that movie. I need my kids to see that movie. I think they would understand me better.
I think yes, definitely. Maybe too late for the teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe not for your 4-year-old. You got to get them young. If I was a rich man. Okay, anyway. We've had a similar upbringing, I see, in the plethora of Fiddler on the Roof. There was one done in all Yiddish, which I didn't see, but I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, they did it all instead of the English, but hopefully that had subtitles. But that was one thing from my childhood that like I kind of wish got carried over. So my grandparents spoke broken Yiddish, and I kind of wish that some of that had been like, at least maybe I could speak broken Yiddish and so know more than a few words. Very fun words, but just a few. Anyway.
I bet you could find a book that would teach you that. I bet you could find a book that would teach you that.
Definitely. I definitely
could. A list of things to learn.
There's a few. It's very short. It's very short, as I'm sure yours is as well. But yeah. Yeah, it's like I think like once you get out of school, officially, it seems like then you go back into school as an adult, even if you're not like in formal school. because there's things that you're like, I want to learn. So you're always like, then you just pick up these things on your own. Like, I don't know. I find myself doing that. My husband does that. We're just like, yeah.
Some people don't want to learn. Some people are just hungry for knowledge, and some people are just content not learning. I've gone to people's houses and they don't have books, and I'm like,
really?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so you can see the stack there.
I do.
That stack, and then that's a bookcase, and then there's a few more. There's more here, and there's
I have books everywhere too. I love them.
We desperately need more bookcases to put them in there, just everywhere, and yeah, and I'll get a book on Audible, and then because I have a lot of time at work where I'm listening. Doing a job where like I'm just we can listen to stuff, books and podcasts and all kinds of stuff. So it's like 8 hours, and then I find myself buying that book in like paperback as well, because I'm just like, I want to hold it. So but we're gonna get maybe that's a good segue to books. Yeah. Do you have some books that I
don't have any right next to me, but I have. I wrote a couple down. That is a hard question for me. It's like asking someone who loves flowers what their favorite flower is.
It is, which I didn't ask you. I have asked that question. Hello, Witch of the Meadow. Welcome. Heather question before we get into books. Does Alana grow lots of her own herbs, or do you do wildcrafting? We have a really big garden. I grow a lot of my own herbs. I'd really love to grow everything that I use. I do some wildcrafting. I try to be really mindful of it because herbalism has become so popular that I see that things are being really over harvested. And so, yeah, I do some wildcrafting, mindful wildcrafting, but I have a really big garden and I grow a lot of herbs. Gardening is one of my like biggest self-care things. Sweet. Mm-hmm. Heather, that's a question close to Heather's heart because she has a humongous garden as well. And so, and I'm always like, she's unfortunately lives like 4 hours away. I'm like, I wish I had time to just jump in there and just spend a day to sort of with her. I have a balcony. I have like 3 pots. So yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Heather. Good question. Heather says, I've seen a few pictures on your Instagram. Lovely garden. So she's.
Oh, thank you. It's always a work in progress. I don't know what my end goal is, but it's going to be epic.
Nice. That sounds great. Yeah.
We just put a lot of fruit and medicine trees in this fall. I'm really excited about that.
What kind of?
Oh my gosh, so many things. We did a few kinds of mulberries, some hickory trees, peaches or plums. Yeah, pears, hawthorn, cramp bark. I already had one cramp bark, but I put another one in. Rose bushes. Oh my gosh, like 25 things.
Wow.
All of our money went to plants for COVID.
That's so epic. Well, like I was talking to you about like before we came on, one day maybe I'll get to bring the camera and we'll come out and we'll get to see your garden and we'll get to show everybody. Yeah. Heather asked slippery elm ?
No, I want to plant slippery elm though. I just don't know how it would grow. I don't know that plant. That's one that I buy.
Right.
Is that a tree or a shrub or it's on the list?
You know what? I really don't know. I think it's in my head, it's kind of a short tree.
Yeah, that's kind of how I imagine it too.
I've never seen it like in the wild.
It's cool fresh because it's probably like all slimy and mucilaginous.
My favorite. That's my favorite word too. Mucilaginous. And that's probably because I need lots of it, so it's my favorite. But I think Heather says I wish I had more space. I don't either, but I believe it's a tree.
Okay.
So maybe one for later to.
I'm gonna look it up.
So we're really lucky that lots of plants grow here. So
yeah.
Very, very fortunate. The Southern Appalachians are very biodiverse. If anyone's not familiar with the area, and so lots of things grow here. And also we are very fortunate because when the glaciers and the ice age came down, they stopped above us. So all the plants and stuff that were here before the glaciers were still here because we didn't have that glacier sheet come down and I guess kill all the whatever was there. Way back when.
Is that before the mountains settled, or I don't know?
I don't remember. I learned that tidbit in herb school. I went to Botanologos. It's in Clayton, Georgia, with Miss Patricia Howell. If you haven't heard of, she wrote this book here.
Oh, cool. I'm going to write that down.
Yes. Medicinal plants of the Southern Appalachians. Anyway. She is awesome.
Another book.
Yes. These are only plants that I think were originally here, and they're not like stuff that the Europeans brought in. So you're like, well, why isn't chickweed in here? Because it's not native. Haha. But yeah.
Cool.
She's a great teacher. And of course, a lot of herb schools, it's moved to an online version right now. But Heather says, oh, she's getting a pawpaw from a friend. Now I have 3 working on my own pawpaw patch. Awesome, Heather.
We did put some pawpaws in too. I think we've got somewhere between 3 and 6. I don't remember exactly.
I haven't yet had a chance to eat one, so no, because they don't sell them in the grocery store because it's not very practical because I think it gets soft real fast. So
you can't pick them when they're not ripe. You have to harvest them when they're ripe. I don't think they ripen on their own.
Yeah, I've heard from oh, okay, yeah. So it's very impractical. It's why don't we sell it? Why isn't it in the stores? I think it's very impractical.
Yeah, it would you'd pick it ripe and then you'd take it to the store, and by the time it got to the store, it would probably be too ripe.
Yeah. So I haven't had one, so maybe.
They're really good. They're like a mango banana.
That's what I've heard, and I'm like, how does a mango and a banana happen? Just gonna smush a mango and banana together or something.
They're very mango-y, but more creamy, like a banana.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to have some pawpaws.
I really like the seeds. They're these perfectly smooth black, they're just I just like to touch them and have them in my mouth. They're really satisfying.
Are they very seedy?
I mean, depends on how big it is. The bigger it is, the more seeds are in there, but it just sort of has. Have you ever had a loquat?
No.
Okay. It has a similar seed where it's really slippery and shiny and comes off of it pretty easily. It has a membrane around it that they're really cool.
Cool. Well, when I come over, I'll have to do some pawpaws if it's pawpaw season.
I think it's like late September, early October is when they're ripe, and ours aren't fruiting yet. I think they take a while.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah. There's that edible garden downtown, like off of Martin Luther King. You can find them in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the next year we'll see. Hi Kay, hello. Hello, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Kay is home because of the snowstorms. Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Oh yeah. So books, yes. So I know that there's a ton, but and then if I have any of the books I can show them. But we can just type the name in the
So this kind of like goes with like the question of advice for anyone wanting to start learning about herbs.
Yeah.
Some of the books that I chose would be really good beginner books. That's my advice for someone wanting to learn about herbs, is to get some books and start reading about it and go down the wormholes and see where it takes you, and then, then start schooling after that. Susan Weed, anything by Susan Weed, I think is good for beginners. The way she lays out herbalism is really, really easy to digest.
Yeah,
she's had a bad reputation for some of her the way she acts out when she's upset, but
she's a bit she's a bit intense and a bit yes.
I met her at the Women's Herb Conference here, and she was really nice to me and really liked me, but she was kind of really mean to the friend that I was with for some reason. I don't know what it was, but she was kind of a bitch, and it was a little intense. But she was nice to me, so. But healing wise, I think is her like really basic good.
Yes.
Rosemary Gladstar is another. All of her books are amazing. Medicinal Herbs is kind of her basic book also. And she shares a lot of recipes in it, and it's also easy to digest.
Yeah.
There's a few that I've been kind of
so this is oh God. Okay. There all the books go.
I tend to read like 20 books at a time. So lately I've been reading Invasive Plant Medicine by Timothy Scott.
Well, just we're gonna go. Let's go through them a little slower. So
okay,
get everyone to. So this is an older version. This is Herbal Healing for Women. This is really good. This is the newer version. This is what the cover looks like. I had to get a new one because this one is yep. Well read. So that is some. Let's see. So that's Rosemary Gladstar. Anything by her.
Yeah. And really anything by Susan Weed. Yeah. I reference them over and over. I'm constantly looking at their books.
Yes. And we have an herbal book club on my channel. So 1 second. And so if you're interested in healing wise and like what that book entails, we went through that book together. So
cool.
I'm just gonna share a link to that. Right now we're doing a different book, but it's all on the same same playlist. So but yeah, if you just before you pick it up. But so it's very accessible. Anyway, okay. So you were mentioning.
I've been reading. I read like 20 books at a time, usually, the ADD thing. But some of the ones that, I mean, anything by Matthew Wood, anything by David Winston, anything by Stephen Buhner, I'm really into. I just really like respect their herbal knowledge and the way that they write. Their is it Earthwise Herbal Repertory by Matthew Wood? I reference that book a lot. He talks about like energetics of plants, and it's just really comprehensive. It's kind of, it would probably be confusing to someone that doesn't know about plants, but it's really good. I'm reading David Winston's Adaptogens book right now. I think it's co-authored with someone else, but I don't remember who it is.
Here it is, right?
This one? Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we were reading this one for school. It's very it is incredibly scientific.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know
science, so I like science. I'm kind of a sciencey herb nerd.
yeah. Like if you want to know all about how adaptogens like work in the body, here we go. This is going to be. It looks small, but it's a good one. So yeah.
Aviva Ram, she's a naturopathic doctor, and she's done a lot of really good writing for like specifically women's healing stuff. Aviva Ram, Avivaromm.
Okay.
I don't actually have any of her books, like a tangible book, I don't think, but I reference her a lot online.
Right. Aviva?
Yeah, I think you spelled it right.
Okay. So she's
she's a naturopathic doctor and herbalist, and has done a lot of midwifery work, and yeah, I like her writing as well. I'm reading a book called Herbs for Pets right now, which I'm liking it. I kind of want to delve more into the pet realm. We have chickens and guinea pigs and dogs and cats, or dog and cats, and I really want goats. So
yeah. That, I mean, I don't think that's something that like a lot yeah, that's definitely another subject that like needs like more discussion, I feel like. Yeah.
Herbal like dental care. I can't remember the name of the book that I have on that. But that's another avenue that I'm really interested in, because dentists are, I don't know, it feels weird. Dental work, it's so expensive. It's kind of, I don't know. It's hard. It's not accessible. Most people's insurance doesn't cover it. And
for a long time I was paying out of pocket, and I would just like save up to try to go. And I've had long gaps in my like dental checkups, so then I get like and I know I'm fascinated by like the idea of making your own toothpaste and all that stuff, so like I think that'd be definitely cool. We're gonna go to chat. I want to say hi to Smoky Fantastic Bobby's joined us, and Roman Biscotti. Hello, thank you for joining us. I think Kay has a question. When you say you are reading these books, are you reading them cover to cover, or are you either reading them as reference books?
All. I eventually make it cover to cover, but I bounce between books. I have like a main book that I'm reading. It's by my favorite author. She's not, well, she references herbs in it. Her name's Sylvia Lindstedt, and I'm reading her book called Tatterdemalion right now. It's sort of like this futuristic, apocalyptic, but really beautifully written. Everything she writes, I just can't get enough of. So that's like what I'm reading mostly. But then sometimes I'll just like have to read a chapter of a book, and I eventually make it cover to cover. But I read like someone who has ADD.
Yeah, the new shiny. Ooh, what's over there? Oh,
yeah. I'm also reading a book called Mushroom Essences, and I don't remember the author off the top of my head, but it is fascinating. Love it.
Cool. So if you're into check that out. What was I gonna say? So the book, The Apocalyptic Herbal, is it a novel?
It's a novel. I started reading her, I don't know, 7 or so years ago. She did these stories by mail where you would subscribe and she would send you like a different story once a month. And the way that she writes is just so like juicy and like, it's so beautiful. I just love the way she puts words together. And she has a children's book. There's 2 of them. It's called The Wild Folk and The Wild Folk Rising. My partner just read those books to our kids, but he also loved them. And then she has another one that's a compilation of short stories called Our Lady of the Dark Country.
The Dark Country?
Mm-hmm. And then Tatterdemalion. There's one more I don't have the name right on the top of my brain right now.
How do you spell that one?
Tatterdemalion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google it because I.
Oh, okay.
Tatterdemalion.
Tatterdemalion.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. When you were discussing it, it reminded me of like Starhawk's Fifth Sacred Thing a little bit.
I'm sure she's inspired by.
I definitely love that book. Sort of herbalism, post-apocalyptic adjacent. Little science fiction, little fantasy, little.
Mm-hmm.
It's earth magic.
It's not like science fiction-y, but like one of the characters is like this reincarnated, they came back as a woman, and it's like this beast on wheels that has like this chamber that this little boy goes inside of, and like the way that she describes like the way that the beast was made, it was like the owls filled their beaks with the blood of their prey and poured it in, and her heart is an iris bulb, and it's so juicy. It's just so good.
You need anything juicy. There we go. Yeah, I think that was.
We could just do this whole podcast episode on cool books.
I mean, there's always like another time. Where, where we're just.
This time I'll bring a stack.
Yeah. We'll just go through them. I think like I ask about books. I think a lot of us. I'm just gonna speak for everybody on the internet here. But I think I love books, and I think that like when we first want to know about something, even like we could Google it now, sure, but I think like a lot of us just think we're Googling a book and then we're gonna get a book and we're gonna read it. So I think like it's like our first introduction to things, and where we're like, oh, and I want to learn about it. So so I think they're really important.
I always wonder about the longevity of the internet too. Like, is it gonna always be there. Like books are, you'll always have them. And that information is there for you. But, you know, if the internet goes down, or I don't know, it just feels like it doesn't feel sustainable to me, the internet. So.
I mean, even if paper, you know, can biodegrade and get wet and mildewed and all this stuff and damaged and over time, you know, but it still feels more lasting and more permanent, and you know, you can hold a book.
Mm-hmm.
And I, you know, I definitely kind of get nauseous from like reading long time on the internet, looking at the screen.
Oh yeah.
So there's just, I think I'm really glad. I was really worried that like, as we sort of rolled along with all this digital stuff, that like we would lose the books. But I think that like the wood stove, like I feel like there's certain technologies from like the past that maybe at some point, like everybody heated their house with wood, right? But
that's
now
the only way we heat our house still.
right. I mean, there are less of us that do that, but like it's still around. It's still a really good technology. And we brought that forward. We've kept it. I mean, I definitely want like a wood stove when we get a house, if we can get one, and you know, have that as one of our heat sources, and because we both really love that. I grew up with a wood stove, but and I love it when I go outside, and you know, I'm like right off of Charlotte Street, so I'm like pretty much like, you know, 10-minute walk from downtown right now. And you can go outside in a cold day, you can smell the wood smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So like there are so many people that still have that, and it just makes winter. But I think books are similar. Like there's so much value. Everyone sees so much value in the books that I think they're gonna hold on for longer, and I hope they don't disappear.
And if you take good care of them, they last forever. I have one of my grandma's books from the 70s. It's called Where There Is No Doctor. And it was a book that she was given when she was in the Peace Corps, and that's a really cool book. Another fave. The drawings in it are really weird. They're kind of crude. I don't know, like the way they draw the babies, it's like they're kind of scary, but the information is really good. And I think that's, you know, she had that since the 70s, and I still have it, and I still look at it, and hopefully I can give it to my kids one day. So if you take good care of them, then they last for super long time.
They do. I mean, I take really good care of my books. This one and Susan Weed's Healing Wise, I have had to replace. And I think I use them so much. But even though the spine is like you could literally rebind this.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's not dead, it's not lost. It's just the binding is coming.
It's so accessible. I mean, to get that probably was under a new one was probably under $20.
Oh, it is. It's yeah. It is. So I just got a new one.
It would probably cost more to rebind the book than it would be to replace it.
Probably. I mean, you could go to like a print shop, and they could chop off this and then put like a spiral bound onto it. I just know that because my parents were printers. So you know, but you know, and I was thinking that I would just like I have this wonderful project that like at some point I don't know if I had like lots of time, is to collect all the information and like put it in one book. Like I'd have, you know, everything like, you know, Rosemary Gladstar says about one herb, and then I'd have everything that someone else says just in one. It's like one book, putting all the books into one book. I don't know. But anyway, you could use it for it's easy to copy when the spine is broken. But there are uses. Duct tape. Which of the most is duct tape? Exactly. chat's having a book conversation. Let's see. I prefer books too. I want a lot, so I'm prepared when the internet goes down. Yeah, exactly.
I kind of have that mindset of like when the zombies come, which like, I don't, but
right.
The zombies is kind of just when
if
the grid stops being electrified.
If the shit hits the food.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, yeah, I think it's good. It's good, I used to print out my emails. Like when I was in college.
They have really good info.
Like when I was in college, I had this huge book of emails. I went into college in like 97, everyone. So, like this is baby internet time. And I just like wanted to save all my like correspondence. And
was it one of those printers that had like the two ribs?
No, I didn't have that. The dot matrix. It'd make that sound as the thing would go. No, I did have inkjet, but yeah, not that quite, but I definitely remember those. Duct tape will solve all the world's problems, even 2020. Yes, agreed. Let's see. That's what we say when the zombies come at last. We'll have books and duct tape. Yep. And then I think, yeah. And then I think, yeah. This is what Froman says. Sounds like a planet in the Scraps Nebula system.
Could be. I don't know the root of the word.
Don't know. Roman is Roman's from space, so
the picture of them looks spacey.
Oh yes. Visiting currently from her spaceship. We definitely, let's see. So, all right. So lots of books for everyone to check out. And maybe we will do like a deep book dive. So that sounds really fun. One time, Bobby says, Smoky Fantastic says I'm from phase 2. So lots of visitors today. Awesome. Smokey's my neighbor. Nice. We are intergalactic here, so
pretty sure my daughter is not from this planet. She came from some star somewhere. Maybe. I think I came from the ocean or some body of water, not of the earth either.
No. I think I'm definitely from here. So let's see. All right. 2 more questions. Because we want to talk about your business, your products. I definitely want to mention those. So what would you like the practice of herbalism to look like in 10 years? Or where would you like this thing called herbalism to go? Or what would you like it to do, its function in the future to be?
Well, so my answer is not good for my business, but
that's okay.
I would really like to see people take their healing into their own hands more and learn how to make medicine and learn how to be in connection with the plants that are helpful for your body. Because everyone has their thing, like the thing in their body that needs healing, or like their thing. So if you get to know the plants that help whatever your thing is, then you can take your healing into your own hands. I'd like to see it be more, I don't know, just more accessible, people to be able to learn about it. Someone who makes products, that probably would mean people would buy less of my products, but I don't know if I'll be in the herbal product business forever. In 10 years, I would like to be working one-on-one with people, doing more consultation work, which I've done some of, but it's just really hard to create that space with kids right now to sit and hold that space. So making products, but yeah, I think I'd just like to see it be more accessible. I'd like to see people learning about it. I'd like to see it not be such this we live in Asheville, so it's pretty woo here, but people who don't really know about plant medicine are kind of freaked out by it, and don't really understand it. And Western medicine, while it has its place, like diagnostically, it's pretty awesome, and they have those machines and all that stuff. There's a lot of life-saving measures that come from Western medicine, but they don't treat illness very well because the pills always have side effects that cause you to need other pills. And, it's like this cycle and plants can't fix everything. Like, there is a place for the pills sometimes.
Definitely.
I just like to see people rely less on the pills and the for-profit medicine and rely more on their own knowing.
Yes. And when people, I've had discussions with people before about this fact that if more people make medicine, maybe I wouldn't be able to sell as much but the thing is that not everyone wants to make, not everyone's tinctures are too hard. I'm not going to make those. So I'd rather buy it. Or creams.
Blending. Blending is an art form. Not everyone is good at blending.
Right. So I think that there will be, even if a lot of us, more of us learn about and do more on our own. And I agree. I'd love to see that as well. And one of the reasons I'm doing these interviews is to try to, make herbalism and just the idea of being an herbalist and using herbs more accessible for people. Hey, these people do herbs and this is what it is. So, it's not, it's it's not scary. It's not boring.
It's actually pretty easy.
It's what we were. So it's really easy. I mean, you can make a tincture with the weight to volume method, which involves math, but you can also make a tincture that's just put some herbs in a jar and some alcohol. Maybe it won't extract at 100% the maximum potency ratio that it needs to, but it will extract and it'll make good medicine. So
time, you just have to give it time to do its thing.
Yeah, you can always go more advanced with your medicine making, but it's basically really simple, really accessible. If you have a mason jar, you have a few other things.
Also, I think that as far as having an herbal product business, I think the people that want and need your medicine will find your medicine. I think that there's, energetically we connect to the things that we feel we resonate with. So, yeah. There's enough for everybody.
I think so. I make products myself, and my shop is currently closed on Etsy for I don't know when I'm going to be able to open it. So I have We, you know, I know what you're. We have sort of experienced similar things and everything else. So, someone asked a cool. Oh yes, Kay asked, "Do you sell your products?" Yes, we were getting to that. So yes. Gosh, I apologize. I keep losing my train of thought.
There was a couple of questions that.
Did I miss some?
Yeah, we don't have to go. One was, what is the definition of health and healing?
Yeah.
The hardest thing about being an herbalist was another one.
If there's any of those that you would like to answer, we can. But we don't have to. Like, I have questions. Like, okay. So what happens is I write all the questions and then I send them to the person I'm interviewing, and then, but we often, don't get to all of them. There's sort of like a blueprint. But if there's any you want to answer, before we, just talk about your business a little bit, that would be great.
What is the definition of health and healing? Yeah. This is a conversation that I have pretty often with different people. And it seems to me, as someone who helps people who are in the process of healing, that the thing that prevents healing is getting stuck in that loop. It's like this, you come up with this idea and that's your story. And so you always have to get back to that. And I think it's like a realization that like the loop is actually like this globular, it's not a circle, like it's not this linear thing. And it's being honest with yourself about stuff. And I think that's where people get stuck, is that they make up a story or they believe a story, and then that's the story that they're sticking to, and they're not willing to like explore outside of that.
Not willing to tell themselves a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mental health and physical health and all health. I think they're intertwined. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. That's definitely been my experience. And it's also figuring out what story you're telling yourself. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times we don't know, we also don't know what we've believed from other people telling us about us. Mm-hmm. Like someone's like, hey, you're like this. And you're like, okay, I'm like that. Mm-hmm. But that's not true.
Well, and you could be like that 1 second and you could change and be like something else another second. And it's just like riding that wave and flowing with it instead of staying rigid in whatever the storyline is.
So that's not only telling yourself a different story, but being also then willing to sort of like acknowledge that story that you may tell yourself, you might need to change the story. So, mm-hmm. Just keep changing that story. And I started a full-time job, and that's a big deal for me because, I have chronic illness. And so I've been like not working full-time for over 10 years. And I've been having like these, it's been a crazy couple months since I started, because I've just been having these like crazy, like whole body, like freakouts. I mean, it's just sort of like, we're like, like that I realize that like maybe, what I'm telling myself that I can't do this or it's too much, maybe that's not true. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I'm ready. Maybe, I don't know, but it's a lot. And but anyway, that's about story. Like maybe that's not true. Maybe I can.
Where you're at. Maybe in that moment it is too much, and maybe the next moment it's just enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's more fluid than what we think. So, you know, and all this stuff is like very, very much internal work. So it definitely takes some learning to do. It took me a long time to like hear what I was telling myself and then be able to respond. So
Yeah, we want easy answers and we want instant gratification, but the healing journey it's a rite of passage and it's not going to be easy. It's a journey.
yeah, it's just ongoing. Like it's just like, okay, I'm here, I'm done. No, it's like every day.
Damn.
You know, every day I gotta do the work, and I'm like, and then I have to actually go to work, and I'm like, ugh. So, cases need to get my cat out of a pickle yet again. So be right back. Okay, Kay. Heather says part of medicine for yourself are the choices of food you put into your body. Yeah, definitely seeing the big picture and working towards it. Yes. So food, yes, mind, body, food, environment, like so many things go into health that we are definitely not taught how to.
And it's hard. Finding good food is hard now. Like eating out is almost impossible to eat something that's actually nourishing, and you know, it's expensive and it's hard to pick the right food choices because most of the choices out there are not good.
Definitely. I agree. They're just, yeah, it's like they just put tasty candy bars in every direction, and I'm like, no.
Well, and that's a balance too. It's like if you want the candy bar, I mean, sometimes you should definitely have the candy bar.
Definitely.
That's balance.
Agreed.
You know, you can't do like, I don't know. I find with dietary stuff, if people get too rigid and like, this is the way that I'm eating and I'm calling it this thing, then they're setting themselves up for failure instead of, you know, doing really good 80% of the time, and then also allowing yourself to have that slice of birthday cake if you go to the birthday, or you know.
Exactly. Or like have one day where you're like gonna cheat or something.
I'm French fries today.
Right, I'm doing it.
I actually might have to have French fries today now that I said them out loud.
I like tater tots, man. French fries are good. We get French fries from when we order from Early Girl. We get like 2 orders of French fries, and the guy was like, "You want ketchup? No. You want ketchup? No. I just want the tasty, salty potatoes." Anyway, we're just like,
My bestie just texted again, and she said, it goes so much deeper than food too, though. The people you let into your life, the things we take in through the media, and it either takes its toll or feeds us. Totally.
Agreed.
Totally. Yeah. We're consuming all the time.
All the time. All the time. It's a whole environmental thing, and yeah, it's challenging. It's challenging.
Yeah.
So Roman says, I grew up with my mom being a health food, yet she religiously ate sponge toffee and pink popcorn.
What the heck are those things? I don't
know. Roman grew up in Canada, so I mean outer space.
It's closer to outer space.
I don't think we have pink popcorn here. We're at a loss.
Is it like a sweetened like a glazed popcorn, or like kettle corn but with pink stuff on it?
I don't know. She doesn't. Yes, outer space Canadian border. Oh my gosh. Okay, so she loves making her own fries once in a while. Well, that's cool. I like fries, but I love tater tots. Those are good.
I like latkes. That's like latkes.
Oh my gosh!
Leftover mashed potatoes. I love potatoes.
Well, I'm
Very
here.
Irish.
So when we used to go to, so I very much, well, I grew up as in a Reformed Jewish household. So when we went to the temple, I loved it when like everybody brought the potato pancakes, the latkes, and each family, they brought different ones. Like each family had like a different version of a potato pancake. It was amazing, like to see them all together. So if anyone has not had a potato pancake, you need to find like your closest
Find a nice Jew.
closest Jew you can find who will make you some or rope you into helping you. What?
I'm 35% Jewish by blood, but I didn't grow up, being practicing.
I am 100%, but we're very, very not. It's more cultural. But I mean, we did go to temple, but not. None. But we're not very practicing. So, but yeah.
But you were latkes, so
definitely yes. Latkes and
matzo balls
and noodle kugel and just yes, all the foods. So I think my Eastern European is my so I think partly from Russia, and then I think from Romania was the other half. So definitely 100%. Well, not 100%, but I'm a lot of Eastern European in there. But yes, they are the best things you can eat for if you want to have some potatoes on your cheat day, or any day. But that was. I wish I had like been able to have a camera and taken a picture of like, because it is really unique and each family had a different take on how to make it with potato pancakes. So that was cool.
When COVID's over, I'm gonna have a latke party.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Which is, oh well, we'll have a virtual latke party this year. Chat's going. Chat is good. Let's see. Yes, mom's side, so Jewish-ish. Hanukkah and Christmas tree, yeah. So British, so my mom used to put leftovers in a pan and cook it up so it had crispy pieces. Oh, is that what Bubble and Squeak is? I never knew that. Thank you, Kay. Oh.
I always thought Bubble and Squeak was like sausage and cabbage soup.
I had no idea what it is, so I was just like, oh yeah, I totally know. No, I didn't know. Okay, all right. Well, cool. Bubble and squeak is the sound I make when I eat that. That's what Roman says. Okay. It does sound like a happy sound. Well, that was fun. I don't get to talk about latkes too often.
Latkes and Yiddish and Yiddish on the roof.
Great. There's not too many, even though we have two Jewish, we have a temple and a synagogue here in Asheville. We have a very small Jewish population. So, yeah, there's not too much. Not like in New York where they get off for Jewish holidays at school. So, which would have been neat. But we moved here when I was like 9. So, but then again, I get the beautiful like mountains and this beautiful area. So I guess it's an okay trade-off. you know, but Kay says it bubbles and squeaks when you fry it in butter, leftover potatoes, veggies, meat, etc. Okay, so it can be. Is it sort of like a leftover surprise? That's what I call the leftover. I put a bunch of leftovers together. That's cool.
The casserole.
The casserole, right. Without the casserole part. All right, so you have a business, and if anyone is in Asheville and wants to, is going to the West Asheville holiday market, you'll be selling in person.
Not today. It's Tuesday.
Today.
We're doing it today, starting next week for the next 3 weeks.
All right, cool. So if anyone's in town, and your business is called Buck Naked Plant Medicine. So would you just like to tell us a little bit about it? Do you have an Etsy?
No, I have a website.
I put your website up. So your website is in the description. So if anyone wants to check it out, and then of course you have the Instagram as well. So I guess how did it start? A little bit about like what kind of medicine products you make and stuff.
So funny. I always have such a hard time promoting myself for my work. How do I talk about it? I just it's a small batch herbal medicine business. I do seasonal offerings. I do everything I make is small batch. I have no desire to go big. Most everything is made with things that I grow in my garden. I have, a couple of things that I buy, like frankincense, and I don't use essential oils in my products, although I'm not opposed to them and people using them. I just don't personally use them. I like whole plant medicines. And I make a wide variety of things. I mean, I make salves, I make syrups, I make tinctures, I make elixirs, I make tea blends and nutritive salts and oxymels and all kinds of stuff. And it's all seasonal.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Some things you have in stocks, and then some things you don't. It just changes.
Yeah. Some stuff I try to keep in stock, but some stuff it's like I make it once and then when it's gone, it's gone. And I like it that way. I promote myself through Instagram. I've had different opportunities to grow my business, but I feel like at this point in my life, I just really want to stay small and stay mindful and be really thoughtful and high quality in what I make. I started my business as a brand new young mama making like baby powder and teething.
Is that where the Buck Naked came from, or?
I think it actually like came to me in a dream. Like there was different names that had popped up, and then that was like, oh, that's the name of my business. My partner hunts deer, we eat venison, and so buck kind of that, and then it's natural. It's like there's no it's buck naked. I started as a young mama making a few products that I would sell at little shops and at tailgate markets, and it's sort of slowly grown. When I started it was part of my business model was to keep herbal medicine affordable and accessible to everyone, and so I still hold that value. So my stuff is priced affordably, which I think, in that Instagram niche market, some people think that if you don't sell 1 ounce of tincture for $25 that it must not be good. But that's just not, I have a lot of guilt around hijacking prices. And that's part of my small batch thing. And that's why I'm not keeping I'm not making huge batches of things, because it's not really like a huge profit thing for me. I mean, I make enough money to like send my kids to school and buy groceries, but I'm not,
I mean, that's
driving
important.
or anything.
That's important.
Mhm.
You know, and then, cause I remember when I was thinking of my business, and I'm like, wow, in order to make actual money, I'm gonna have to like upscale and do like just production of products, and I'm like, I really don't want to do that. I don't, it takes the fun out of it. It takes so,
and wholesale too. I don't do a whole lot.
That was
Wholesale at couple of small places, but I'm kind of scaling back on that. I do make private label medicine for a company in New York, a few things, and I really enjoy working with them and doing that. Because it's kind of like consistent. Like I know I'm going to make this much every month, and I like the things that I'm making. But other than that, I don't really have a desire to do wholesale because you're having to make lots of stuff, and then you're getting half the money for it. And so that's kind of that production thing. And I try to be really mindful of natural resources and sourcing, and I'm just not really willing to like raid all of whatever plants. So, yeah.
Well, cool. Well, everyone go check out. Yes. I think there's a lot of value in like seasonal, small batch. And I think it's some, capitalism is weird, and it's like if things are inexpensive, don't want to be value. And I would love for us to get out of that, kind of mindset, because it's just not true. There's,
to have 1,000% markup on something that you're making is just, it's kind of crazy.
And it also like it's just totally like blows out of the water the whole idea of accessible herbalism and plant medicine. It's just like that's not sort of what we're here for. Like we want you to be able to have the tincture, and if it's like $200, you're not going to be able to have the tincture. So,
well, and I want it to be sustainable. Like I have people that, like I have a friend who uses my hawthorn tincture. And so I sell her big bottles of it for a price that is sustainable for her. And I'm not making as much money as if I'm selling it in 1 ounce bottles, but it's okay because it's helping her and it feels good to me. And it's paying me enough to where I can continue to make it.
Yeah. And you're helping her, and that's really awesome.
Yeah, I like to form connections.
Yeah. It's about the people. The people and the plants and the matchmaking. The plant making. Ooh. All right. So everyone go check out Buck Naked Plant Medicine. All right. Yes. We're probably gonna wrap. We're probably gonna wrap it up here because I have to go to work today, and and we have somehow we've almost gone 2 hours. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Everyone in chat live, thank you so much for your questions and your comments. They're having a lively discussion about Bubbles and Squeak. It's zombies, of course, still. So
if I go back and watch this, can I read all the comments?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It'll be up either very late tonight or tomorrow on the YouTube. And it'll probably, I think it's up now instantly on Instagram, but I don't know if you can see all, I'm not Instagram, Facebook. But the Stories from the Earth Facebook group, but I don't know if you can see all the comments. Anyway, so definitely by tomorrow.
When you do it on Instagram, will you send me the link so I can share it?
Yes.
I mean YouTube. Sorry.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I will send you the link. And yes, Quick to delete it all, LOL. Too late, Roman, too late. It's live, warts and all, you know. All the brain farts and everything else. So, but it's all right, you know.
It's honest.
Yes. I get nervous and then everything goes away. But it's all right. It's all good. All right. So, thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, maybe we'll have you on again for that book discussion, and definitely when we can all meet in person, we'll check out your awesome garden and you know, and get to maybe like talk about, you know, get to see some of your products and talk about your process a little more in depth. So I think that would be cool. All right, so don't really go anywhere, but
okay.
We're gonna say goodbye from the stream.
Bye. Thanks for being here.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna thank you again for joining me, and we'll be back on the 15th at 12 p.m. Eastern for another interview. And oh my gosh, I can't remember who we're having, but because we have 3 interviews. So if you're interested in Stories from the Earth, there's a link to the Facebook group below in the description. If you want to come on and chat about herbs, you don't have to be an official herbalist. You can be an herb enthusiast, or you can be an herbalist. You can just join the Facebook group, contact me. We're very kind of chill, loosey-goosey. I'm pretty nervous today. I don't know if you can tell. Woo! All right. Anyway, so I hope everyone has a good day, and I will see everybody later. So bye. Bye. Oh, and I have a Patreon if you want to send me money. My Etsy shop is closed. I don't know when I'm opening it, but I do also have an Etsy shop. So all that is in the description. Yes, if I get money through Patreon, it does go to supporting this project, and I would love to, you know, take it out into real life and do more documentary style, do more things, do more traveling, and that does cost money. So, but anyway, okay.